May 2016 marks 50 years since the start of China's Cultural Revolution. The decade-long shift resulted in an estimated 2 million deaths, alongside widespread abuse, displacement, public humiliation, and torture. At the time, little was understood about the causes and devastating outcomes of the revolution. However, newly released archives have shed light on this dark period of China's modern history. So now, half a century later, what do we know about China's Cultural Revolution? Well, the revolution was predominantly Chairman Mao Zedong's attempt to establish himself as the leader of the communist world by ridding the country of capitalism and its long-standing traditions. After Mao's Communist Party took power in 1949, the Soviet Union's new leader, Nikita Khrushchev, denounced his predecessor Joseph Stalin and began to de-Stalinize the USSR. Seeing similarities between himself and Stalin, Mao began to fear a similar fate for himself. So in 1958, Mao launched a national campaign to boost China's economy called the Great Leap Forward, which radically redistributed land among China's rural population and organized workers into communes. The Great Leap Forward failed miserably, decimating the economy and diminishing Mao's role within the ruling party. To regain control, Mao united with like-minded radicals, including his wife and defense minister Lin Biao, to launch the Cultural Revolution. At a conference in May of 1966, Mao claimed that bourgeois ideas had crept into society and the government, and that these elements could only be removed through violent class struggle. In the months that followed, Mao shut down China's schools and mobilized students into paramilitary units called Red Guards. The groups attacked and killed teachers, intellectuals, and eventually ordinary people they suspected of undermining the communist system. The movement infiltrated the military, workers, and even the ruling party itself. By the late 1960s, tens of thousands had been forced out of cities in an effort to purify urban areas, and millions had suffered rape, abuse, arbitrary imprisonment, or torture. Some of the most horrific violence occurred in rural villages in southern China, where revolutionaries were known to practice ritualistic cannibalism in the name of revolution. By the early 1970s, the revolution began to dissolve. Mao's chosen successor, Lin Biao, had recently taken power and was dealing with widespread opposition over his decision to put China under martial law. Mao launched a campaign to reduce Lin's power, effectively dividing the ruling party. After Lin died in a plane crash in 1971, members of his military command were purged and a new leader took power. Lin's death, alongside chaos and division within China's ruling party, left revolutionaries feeling slighted and disillusioned. The movement officially ended in 1976 when Mao died and his allies were purged from the ruling party. The Cultural Revolution was arguably the most horrific and violent period in the history of modern China. Today, the movement is often characterized by widespread devastation and death. But experts say its legacy is the uncertainty, fear, and lost sense of humanity it imposed on those who lived through it. And although China is still plagued with power struggles and human rights abuses, the scale and severity of these issues cannot be compared to those of the Cultural Revolution.
大海航行靠舵手，万物生长靠太阳。雨露滋润禾苗壮，干革命靠的是毛泽东思想。鱼儿离不开水呀，瓜儿离不开秧，革命群众离不开共产党。毛泽东思想是不落的太阳。大海航行靠舵手，万物生长靠太阳。雨露滋润禾苗壮，干革命靠的是毛泽东思想。鱼儿离不开水呀，瓜儿离不开秧，革命群众离不开共产党。毛泽东思想是不落的太阳。